A very good afternoon to. I'm sure that we have a lot of aspiring young hearts around this part of the country just waiting to hear about the excitement that we probably have when somebody says you could crack an IAS in the first attempt. Certainly something that I probably missed hearing when I was a kid. And if that was the case, I would have simply jumped into it and said, when is the opportunity to hear that talk? And today I have the privilege and honor to have the ALS team that's all set to give us the possibilities that you probably see in this big world of being, which is very competitive and probably leading us to many directions, to say which is that direction that you have to take. While there is something very promising to more aspiring young folks coming up this weekend, where there's an aptitude test coming up for you, to say you probably have scholarships going out there, you have so much of goodies that you can probably take advantage of. This afternoon is certainly the privilege to have two very important people from ALS, and my honor to introduce them to this very august gathering. This is Dr. Senek D'Souza on behalf of St. Aloysius College, the management, the participants. I would like to place a very warm welcome to our distinguished guests this afternoon who are going to take this forum to tell you more about the secrets and probably the possibilities that you have to take this forward. Well, the first person that I want to probably bring up together with all of us here is, I will start with the man who's founded this entire concept. And today, the founder of ALS is also with us. He is the chief executive director of ALS. Jojo Matthew is not a unknown face to many of us. I have heard him several times. Very inspiring. And today is going to give us more about where that entire piece actually falls together. A very warm welcome to Jojo Matthew this afternoon. It's a pleasure to have you, sir. At the same time, I have the CEO, again, another very promising figure. If I've probably seen him, he's probably taken charge here from a lot of experience around, and was a part of the Delhi University some time back in the School of Management. But today, Ritesh Handa is the CEO of ALS. Again, somebody who's going to be stirring this afternoon along with Joe Matthew to give us answers to many questions that we probably have, and what is the secret that they have adapted. And certainly their successes and their failures are going to be your successes to take it forward from here. Without really wasting much time, tell us how, what, and where. Mr. Jojo Matthew and Ritesh Handa.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Senek D'Souza. Thank you for your kind words, right, to introduce us. And I would like to welcome all the students one more time. And thank you, and also special thanks to Principal Father Praveen, right, Dr. Lobo and the entire management, right, for giving us yet another opportunity to come and present in it, ourselves in front of all the students and also the very esteemed St. Aloysius College. I've also been told today that we also have students from the entire diocese, right? So I would like to welcome them one more time on behalf of ALS, right? So so today's agenda would be as follows. So I'm going to speak for about 2 to 3 minutes only, right? And let Shri Jojo Matthew speak for almost about 40-45 minutes, and then we'll get into a question answer round for about 10 to 15 minutes. And this is how we are going to use time between 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, right? And all the questions will get answered. And I would request you to ask all questions in the chat box, right? So before we start, I want to show you a very, very small presentation about ALS, on what we do, what are our programs. I completely understand most of you or all of you are pursuing your graduation. So we have some exciting programs coming up next week from October 3rd, right, where we will be starting our programs for the undergraduates for any competitive examinations, of course, with special focus on civil services and UPSC examination. So I'm going to take you through about 7-8 slides. It's going to take about 2 minutes, and then we'll start this session with the expert, right? So I'm just sharing my screen, and then we can get started. Okay, so ALS is India's largest civil services coaching, right? And we have the vision to create India's largest and most effective network of providing quality education at affordable costs across several disciplines. Right, as you can see from the map of India, we've got about 80 centers in India, right, all over the country, right from Kashmir to Trivandrum down south, and from northeast to the west of India. The best thing about is over our results, and over the last 10 years we have been consistently delivering 20% results at the UPSC level. When I say 20% results, which means every fifth civil servant in the country is from the house of ALS or has an ALS alumni. So about ALS a little bit, 25 years of mentoring. I know most of you are not even 25. Most of you are in the bracket of 17 to 19 to 20 years of age. So this is going to be an exciting session for you. So we have been mentoring students for the last 25 years with designing the most meticulously designed classroom and online programs. Right, we've got 80 plus centers. I've already spoken about it. To further add to our credentials, we have tie up with 9 state governments and several NGOs, including the government of Karnataka, right? And already 3,350 plus candidates have qualified from the house of ALS. And last but certainly not the least, ALS has given our country rank 1 four times rank 1. Right, so we are India's only coaching network to bring live classes to your doorstep, and I emphasize on the word only. So we are India's only coaching network to bring this live to your doorstep. There is no cost for relocation for students, and emotional and financially support by the family. Right, generally the thought is that if you want to prepare for civil services, one should go to Delhi, but specifically during these COVID times, I mean, that is definitely not a worry. There is, you can get the same class, same teachers, same assessments, same books, everything is exactly the same, right? What you would have witnessed in Delhi, right? The only difference is you cannot touch the teacher, and in this case you cannot touch or in flesh and blood Mr. Jojo Matthew, but he will be there in front of you virtually in the next 2 minutes. Right, decentralization of quality education and an opportunity to those enrolled in other courses, and this is basically the most important point for all of you, right? The opportunity for those who are enrolled in other courses. So all of you would, some of you would be in BA, BSc, BCom, whatever sort of graduation you are pursuing. Now you can pursue your graduation and your civil services preparation together, right? And that is how we're going to guide you, and we're going to tell you more as we move forward. And of course, we will be having academic mentors at your at the college, which is the St. Aloysius College. Some of the top colleges where we are working from across the country, and this is outside of our 80 academic centers. These are only the colleges right in Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, Nagaland, Maharashtra. Of course, in Xavier's in Punjab, we have the very famous, lovely Professional University. We've got about 5 colleges right across the border for you in Kerala, uh, right? And then in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, of course, we have your college as well as your sister college, which is the St. Joseph's College in Bangalore. In Andhra, we've got the Loyola, and in West Bengal also we've got the St. Joseph's College. So I have to speak about our results which came last month, right? Last month, the UPSC results were declared, and 829 students across India cleared the civil services examination. Out of this 829 students who cleared, I'm very happy to share that 172 selections were from the house of ALS. And yet again, we delivered 20%, or rather more than 20% result this year as well. We had 9 ranks in top 50, 16 ranks in top 100, and 39 ranks in top 200. We also had 7 ranks from our regional centers, including the highest rank 87 from Chandigarh. And I'm going to speak a little about this person who scored rank 87 in the next slide. But most importantly, we got 5 centers in Karnataka, right? We've got Mangalore, which is your college. We've got Bangalore, which I've already spoken about, St. Joseph's College. We've got our academies in Mysore, Dharwar, as well as in Kalaburgi, right? So very, very strong presence in your state in Karnataka. And I would also like to share this photograph, right? When we started this college, this program at your very college, right? And yeah, you can see your principal in the middle, and then the rector on his right, and of course Dr. Lobo extreme left, and the gentleman on the right on the red T-shirt is myself, right? And of course the rest of the staff is there. And of course this was the inauguration on June 4th of 2019 with the Bishop His Grace Dr. Sadana, right, and along with other dignitaries. This was last year in June, right? We wanted to do a similar program in person in June this year, but unfortunately, COVID-19 had his own plans. So we also have our own plans now. So there is nothing to worry, right? We would be continuing our classes online till the time the college reopens, as well as as soon as the college reopens, of course, the classes will be held in the college, right? Speaking about our rank, we had 2 ranks in top 10 and 9 ranks in top 50, which I just explained, right? So we had rank 8, 9, 11, 12, 30, 34, 35, 44, and 50. And these ranks are only in top 50. Over the last 23 to 25 years, we have secured all the ranks and all the numbers from rank 1 to rank 1000. You think about a number and we would have gotten that rank, right? So these were the regional selections which I spoke about. Rank 87, Muskan Jindal, right? A little bit on Muskan, right? So she is 22 years of age and she is the youngest IAS officer in the country right now. And very happy that she is an ALS alumni and she did all her coaching from ALS. She's 22. And if she can do it at the age of 22, why can't you do it? Right? So that's the challenge. And that's why I wanted to speak about this rank, and most of the other ranks which are coming from the regional centers were again from your neighboring state, Kerala. And let's hear a small testimonial from Muskan, and then we're going to start with Jojo sir.
Hey everyone, hope you all are doing good. This is Muskan Jindal. I secured All India rank 87 in Civil Service Examination 2019. And I feel really glad and grateful that I've been able to achieve this in my first attempt itself. I would also like to thank whole ALS team. I joined ALS Chandigarh BSAT Center in 2017-18 batch for my GS preparation. And it has been great. The experience was good for me. So thank you, ALS, for all your support. And for all those who are preparing, I'd like to say that just be positive, give your best, do not care about the results, and I'm sure you'll get through. Thank you.
So in 2017-18, she was exactly your age.
I'm very glad that I have been able to clear civil service examination, and this would not have been possible without the support of ALS IS Institute. The institute has supported me throughout my journey and made sure whenever I need some kind of assistance, it was available. So a big thanks to the institute, and I hope that the institute will continue to work further in order to help other students to excel in future. Thank you.
Okay, so that was the small presentation which I wanted to share, right? And before we get started with Jojo sir, some basic ground rules for this seminar, right? I've already spoken about the agenda, right? For the next 30 to 35 minutes, Jojo sir is going to speak, and the last 15 minutes we're going to reserve for question answers. Can I request all of you to start your cameras so that we can also see some young and dynamic and smiling faces, right? Specifically during these difficult times. I understand you're at home, so are we, right? I'm also at home, and Jojo sir is also at home, and everybody's at home, and it is good to be at home, right? So if you can start your cameras, it'll be wonderful. Of course, I leave the choice to you. Okay, so I can see Larita Jane starting her camera. Thank you, Larita, and Akanksha coming in. So thank you, and Shaba Fatima also starting. Wellen Lobo also starting. Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you for your initial smile as well. All right, so without wasting much time now, I'll go to Jojo sir directly. So over to you, Jojo sir.
So good afternoon to all of you, and respected Principal Praveen, Dr. D'Souza, Dr. Lobo, and Ritesh, and my dear friends. So this is a discussion about how to crack civil service exam in one attempt, which is really possible. In fact, as Dr. D'Souza was telling, that had he been knowing about this at his age, definitely he would have gone for a crack at that time. Definitely, because especially in South India, we have a problem, because we always think that achieving or cracking or getting to civil service is almost an impossible activity, and many people right from the beginning, even before the competition starts, we tend to ignore and we tend to give up. So that is a common problem for most of the South Indians. So we are no exception. So that is a problem. But if you look at the the rank list year on year, you can find that at least 20% of the students who are getting through the civil service exam are in the first attempt itself. So that clearly shows that if you can put in the right effort, if you can put in the right strategy, and if you can work hard, definitely there is a possibility of, and it is not a one-off event or it's an exception. It is a 20%, 1 out of 5 people are getting through in the first attempt itself. Clearly shows that there is a bright chance for all of us if you are preparing for this exam with the right spirit and the right right direction. So in fact, when it comes to the civil service exam, first thing we should know is that your background or whatever you have done till now, it may not matter much. What is your background? That means whether you are a science graduate or an arts graduate, or whether you got through the 10th or 12th class with a rank, or it is a lower marks, it doesn't matter. So whatever has happened till now, it is not going to be an indication about whether you will get through in this exam or not. In fact, in civil service exam, the only requirement is you have to be a graduate by the time you write the exam, and any marks, whether you are a 40% graduate or a 50% marks graduate or a topper, it doesn't matter. There is no minimum marks required in civil service exam. So that itself shows that UPSC is not worried about your background till now. Now onwards, what you are planning to do and how you will do, and now onwards, how well you are willing to work hard, that is more important than anything else. So this exam is for everybody. I mean, the only condition is minimum age is required. That is 21 years of age by the time you appear in the exam, and the maximum number of age is obviously it is 32 years for a general category candidate. For if you are an OBC, it is 35 years, and scheduled caste and scheduled tribe, it is 37 years. And for general category, there are 6 attempts. OBC, there are 9 attempts, and scheduled caste and scheduled tribe up to 37, and no specific number of attempts. So this is open for all. Any UGC approved graduation, you can appear in this exam. No minimum marks required. The only thing is you have to be 21 years of age when you appear in this exam. So this is open. It is given to all of us. No criteria and no minimum marks and no background matters. So that is the first thing you should know. Second point here is, this exam is a general knowledge exam. 80% of the exam revolves around general knowledge, what we studied or what we have seen, what we are seeing these days in and around us. General knowledge is something what we started studying right from the school days. Right from 6th standard onwards, we started studying a bit of history, a bit of geography, a bit of constitution, a bit of economics, a bit of general science, and whatever is happening around us, the newspaper reading. So general knowledge comprises of all these things. And 80% of the syllabus revolves around this general knowledge. Only 20% is where you require to have some specific knowledge about one subject which you can choose. Your choice. Your graduation doesn't matter. Now you might be you can be an engineer, or you are a science graduate, and then you can take history as your optional subject. You can choose any optional subject, which is a long list of optional subjects are given. You can choose one of them. It is, again, as I said, your graduation doesn't matter. You may be an engineer, still you can take history or a geography or public administration or sociology, or any of these subjects you can choose as your optional subject. So there again, these subjects are almost like a general knowledge subject only. There's no difference there. So general knowledge, you have to study general knowledge, and general knowledge is something which anybody can pick up, anybody can prepare. And the beauty of this exam is, this is the same general knowledge which is required for any other competitive exam. You try to write any competitive exam, say Karnataka PCS exam or KAS exam or an RBI exam or a bank exam or any competitive exam, even for an MBA exam or any higher education, even net and other things, wherever you go, you will be asked to write, you will be asked some current affairs questions, some general knowledge questions. So if you're preparing for civil service exam, which is common for all competitive exams, every competitive exam in this country, ultimately they end up asking some questions from history, some questions from geography, some questions from constitution, etc., etc. So this is a general knowledge exam. The only difference maybe we can say, we have 3 levels of exam. That is where the civil service exam becomes a bit difficult, or rather it becomes a bit more, in-depth examination, we can say. We have a preliminary exam where during the preliminary level, up to more than 10 lakh people are applying across India. It's an all India exam. It's not a state level exam. So the competition is also all India. It's like an Olympics. So more than 10 lakh people are applying for this exam. At least 5 lakh will go and write the exam. And out of that, again, all 5 lakh may not be serious. At least 1 lakh people are serious about this exam. So you are competing among, say, around 1 lakh serious people, good people. Many a times, some of the toppers of the universities are preparing for this exam. So the competition level is very high. Out of this 1 lakh serious people, around 12,000-13,000 are allowed to write the main exam. So preliminary exam is a multiple choice question exam. 100 questions are given in a paper, 2 hours, and you have to solve it. And answer is also given. So it's not that difficult because 4 options are there. Answer is given in front of you. You have to identify the right answer. So 12 to 13,000 people will clear the preliminary exam through this multiple choice. But in that, in the preliminary exam, there is also a qualifying paper where some maths, mental ability, reasoning, English comprehension, etc. are asked. But that is a qualifying paper where you have to score 1/3 of the marks, which is not that difficult. Again, if there is some practice, you will be able to easily, crack that qualifying paper. No special requirements are there. No special abilities are required here. But in the general knowledge, since it's only 100 questions and across India, lakhs of people are writing, you have to be a bit, you have to study, you have to prepare. Then only you will be able to get through. Just like that, if you go and write the exam, you may not be able to clear that. But if you prepare, it's not difficult to get through preliminary exam. It's a multiple choice. And the requirements of multiple choice is practice. But once you clear that preliminary exam, around 13,000 people are writing the main exam. That is where the real competition begins. 9 papers are there. 2 of them are language papers. English paper, English is there. Then maybe Kannada literature or Hindi, one of the regional languages you have to pick up. And there again, 8 standard level English and your regional language. Not at all difficult. Anybody can write, anybody can, it's a qualifying paper. 7 papers are where the marks are counted for the final qualification. 5 of them are general studies. 5 of them are general knowledge, and 2 of them are from one optional subject which you have to choose. So this is where the competition, this is where the fight, and this is where you have to write the answers. All questions are descriptive questions. You have to write the answers in 200 words, 250 words, 300 words, like that. Not more than that. So the challenge is how to write what you know. You may have good knowledge. The knowledge is something which is there in your brain, but that knowledge has to be converted into good answers. So the challenge in civil service exam is how to convert that good knowledge, how whatever you know, how to convert that into the answer paper. That requires a lot of practice. So the main exam is the biggest challenge, where you have to, there is no choice in the question paper. It is not multiple choice. You have to write everything from what you know, what you remember. So your knowledge is very important. You have to convert, you have to read, revise, memorize, so that the knowledge is intact. Then this knowledge has to be converted into a good answer in the exam hall. So it's a big challenge. So you have to really put in the right effort to convert information into knowledge, and then you have to practice how to write good answers. So the real challenge and competition is there in the main exam. If preliminary exams effort, you require X effort. Main exam requires 5X, because preliminary is a multiple choice question where answer is given in the question paper itself. Whereas when it comes to main exam, you have to remember everything and then write. So that memory part and a repeated revision, repeated reading. So it requires a lot of hard work and effort, no doubt regarding that. So that's the main exam, 7 papers, 250 marks each. Then finally, when you clear the preliminary main exam, around 2,500 people are called for interview. If 1,000 vacancies are there, 2.5 times people are called for interview. Interview is for 275 marks. Interview is a personality test. What kind of person you are? What kind of character you are? How good you are, or what is your intention? What is your approach? And what is your future plan? What is your approach toward the society? And what are you compassionate? Are you honest? Are you hardworking? Okay, are you disciplined? So these things are tested, and they want to know your character. So personality test or the interview is not a knowledge test. They are not asking questions to know how much you know. Their interest is to know what kind of person you are. Are you a good person? Are you interested in serving the society? That is where the personality test or the interview counts. So it's only 13% of the total marks, because the written exam marks and the interview marks are added together to give the final rank. And if you look at the interview marks, it's only 13%, 1-3. But interview it will play a very important role, because finally when it comes to the final score, almost 20% of the marks will be from the interview only for you, because interview it is easy to score. The written exam, it is difficult to score. And interview, as I told, you do not have to study anything. You have to just express your ideas. You have to tell your ideas. It's not about the knowledge. It is about your character. So a good character can actually fetch you good marks. So you have to work on your character aspect also. You're a good, disciplined, hardworking person definitely will get good marks, and your future depends upon that. Your discipline determines the future. What kind of person you are going to and what is going to achieve depends on what kind of discipline you have in your day-to-day life, and that will be reflected in your interviews. So this exam is a comprehensive one. So we have a preliminary exam where multiple choice questions are there, main exam where your descriptive answer writing ability and knowledge is tested, and interview where your character is tested, your education is tested. So that is why civil service exam is the most comprehensive exam in this country. And that is why it is a bit difficult also, because best of the people are appearing and 3 levels of your test. So in each test, you have to perform very well. And that is where, you have to perform. All these things should fall in place, or rather, I will say each day of exam, you should perform well, and you cannot escape. Every paper is very important, and your character, ultimately your character is all. That is why this exam or this competition is very a bit I will say challenging or difficult, in the sense, not because of the subject matter. It is about managing everything in the right time. And what kind of people get through the exam? That's what the next question many people will ask. See, it's all about an ordinary person who is willing to work hard. It's not about the genius. It's not about your extra brain. It's not about your extra memory or something. Some people say, I read once and I can remember everything in one go. Even if you cannot do that, even if you remember something after 5 reading, it is fine. But if you do 5 times and memorize accordingly. So what is required in this is a strong, disciplined life. When you are thinking of preparing for civil service, you have to devote time in a very, very systematic manner. It is about spending some time in the right things. It's not about your extra biological abilities which you got by birth. Even if you are not so good in studies, but if you can put in that extra effort and extra time, then you can make up for that. That is the beauty of civil service exam, because you don't require a genius of a scientist or a doctor or an engineer. It is not required here. You be ordinary, be normal, be average. Even if you're an average student, still, if you can put in the right effort and right time, maybe you may have to put in some extra hours. So time may be a factor here, but otherwise a disciplined life is what is expected. Your discipline will decide your future. If you are disciplined in a day-to-day life, if you can allot time for each activity, and if you can spend time for some general knowledge, you can also get through. In the college time, when you are in the college, you have to do your regular graduation activities. Along with that, 2 to 3 hours every day, you can easily devote, because there is no great bigger activity than, or rather, we can easily dig out 2-3 hours every day from your regular college activities. So if you can devote that much time for developing a bit of general knowledge, a bit of newspaper reading, things will dramatically change. And one more aspect about the civil service exam is, this is a very long preparation. This is the biggest problem, because we are all used to getting results instantaneously. These days, because of the online shopping and all, if you want to buy something, you have no patience even to wait for next day morning to order it. Suppose earlier what happened was that, suppose you have to buy something, you have to go to the shop, you have to find time, and then you purchase. Now what is happening? Even in the middle of the night, you decided that I have to buy this. Immediately you switch on your computer or through the mobile phone, Amazon or anything, you order it. And there are many options, whether shall I deliver in 2 days or express delivery, all these, we want everything instantaneously without stepping out of home. That is not possible in civil services. If you want IAS tomorrow, you are not going to get IAS. You have to prepare, you have to wait for the exam. Even if you are a graduate right now, your next available opportunity to write the exam is only in 2021 June. Every year, only once the preliminary exam is conducted. And if you clear that preliminary, you will be asked to write the main exam in November 2021. And if you clear that main exam, you will be called for interview in February 2022. And finally, when you get the result, it may be April or May 2022. Today, we are only in September 2020. So if you're looking at that way, even if you get through this exam in the first attempt, in the first available opportunity, it is 2 years of time, almost 2 years of time. So time is a big factor. And if you did not get through the exam in one attempt, and generally we say that you should apply and appear for at least 2 attempts. 2 attempts in 3 years. So you need to prepare and you be focused for the next 3 years or at least 2 years. So time is a big factor in civil service preparation. And if you're an undergraduate student, right now you are not even eligible to write the exam. So we have to prepare, we have to create the foundation first. We have to focus properly. We have to, prepare in a very systematic manner. Every day we have to spend some time, and you have to be disciplined for the next 3-4 years. Then suppose you become a graduate in 21 or 22. So then in 23 you are going to take the attempt. 24 the results will come. So from today, if you are looking 4 years. So do you have that patience? The patience is a big factor. Not only discipline and patience, perseverance. Many of us are having no patience. If you don't have patience, you will not be able to get through the exam. So you require patience, you require discipline, and you have to systematically, develop knowledge. You have to create knowledge. You may have information. See, in fact, T.S. Eliot once said, the problem in our society is we have a lot of information, but we don't have any knowledge. In fact, he said, it's an adapted version of T.S. Eliot. I said, where is the wisdom today? His question. I mean, he's a very beautiful couplet. He said, where is the wisdom today? He said, this is lost in education. Wisdom is lost in education. Then he asked, where is the education today? He said, it is lost in knowledge. Then he asked, where is the knowledge today? It is lost in information. See, you and me have information. Information is something, anything you hear, you immediately, have you heard about Donald Trump? Yes, I have heard about Trump. Have you heard about Corona? Yes, I have heard about Corona. Have you heard about Yemen? Yes, I have heard about Yemen. Have you heard about Palestine? Yes, I have heard about Palestine. See, you have heard about everything, but you don't know anything about anything. Suppose you say, okay, you tell me something about Palestine and the problems in Palestine, or you tell me something about the diplomatic relations between Israel and UAE, which has been recently established. You say, I have heard, I read, I have seen the headline, but I don't know anything beyond that. See, you have just information. Information is not sufficient. You need knowledge. You need to have some knowledge. So you convert information into knowledge means that whatever idea you got, you have to work, you have to read, we have to collect information, we have to make some notes. Then you have to memorize, then that becomes knowledge. And see, this knowledge is very important in the main exam because you are asked to write that about the question, about the topics, about these issues. Say presidential election in US, what will happen and how things are going to turn around. We have to, if you are asked, you should be able to answer that question. What will happen in the election? How, when Donald Trump is placed in this particular election, these things, if you are able to answer, I will say you have knowledge. But knowledge is very important in the main exam time. But when it comes to interview, knowledge is not tested. Your education, how well educated you are. Education is one step above knowledge. Your character, what kind of person. So what I'm trying to tell you is that you are living in information era. Information is not sufficient. If I say something and I have heard of it, it has no value today. Yeah, unless you are able to convert the information to knowledge, and tomorrow you go one step ahead and grow one step ahead and become a good person, good individual, good citizen. That is also tested in this. And your wisdom, of course, your wisdom will be tested when you are a good officer. A good far-sighted officer will be a person, we can say, using some wisdom. But of course, we are not worried that much about wisdom right now. Wisdom comes also with age and experience. But at least your character and education is counted. Are you educated? If you ask this question right now, many of us will say, yes, I am literate, but I may not be educated. Literacy is not the issue now. Just knowledge is not the issue, your education aspect also. So when you prepare for civil services, you need information, we need knowledge, and we need a character and education. And of course, some wisdom. Over a period of time, it will increase only. So this exam tests all those things, and you require to work very systematically and for a longer period of time. 3 to 4 years of hard work will be required for you. But if you can put in that effort, if you have that patience and perseverance, then the whole world will turn upside down in front of you, because your life will change forever. If you get through civil service exam, just imagine. That is the beauty. See, in fact, in most of the religious scriptures, including our Christian scriptures, we talk about doing something good for the society, good for the people, be good for others. How can you be good for others? One of the ways in being good for others could be maybe you can become a priest or a nun and all. But even without doing that, you can be good to others by joining civil services. You can do great and good things to the society by implementing the programs and policies of the government of India and the government of state of Karnataka, for example. So many schemes are there, but it is not reaching the poor. It is not reaching the needy. See, now this corona pandemic time, if a good officer is there, he can help in reducing the spread of the pandemic, and by helping people in the healthcare, maybe in education level, or maybe even in the public distribution system, the food supply, the migrant labor issue. See, hundreds of problems we are facing today. But a good intentioned officer can do a great service to the society. And you have all the ways and means, all the mechanism, all the machinery. But the only thing what is lacking in many times is the intention to do good things. People give up. You can see in many of the cities these days, so much of traffic jam and congestion. But if a good officer comes, he can at least control that. But for that, there has to be an intention to do something to the society. So that if you have that intention to do something to society, civil service is the best place to do something. And that is where the beauty of this whole service is. That is, it's called civil service, serving the society. To serve the society, the best platform is civil services. And in that, IAS and IPS is the best platform. There's no doubt regarding this. So we have most of us have a moral responsibility, I will say, to work and get through so that you can serve your society and you can, help in developing or rather taking our society one step above. It is possible provided you and me work hard and try to enter into the service. So please look into that as the service angle also, because if our society has to grow, if India has to grow, we people will have to do something to the society rather than waiting for what the country has done for you. That's what the APJ Abdul Kalam once asked this. No? So rather than asking what the country has done for you, you please think what you have done for the country. Please do something. If you become a civil servant, that is the contribution to the society. And then if you can work for the society. It's a great opportunity. And as I mentioned, the general knowledge exam which anybody can do. As a beginner, two things you can always do. One is you have to develop, we have to recollect your general knowledge, what we studied in school, right from history, geography, etc. Right from 6th standard NCERT, 6th standard books, 6th to 12th NCERT books are the base and foundation for civil service preparation. Your history, your geography, the constitution and economics, everything from 6 to 12, if you study, that is almost 50% of the syllabus. Then the second thing you should do is that you please read newspaper every day. At least 1 hour you please devote for newspapers. Hindu newspaper is the best newspaper, or the Indian Express. But these days, sitting anywhere in this country, we can download and we can subscribe to the national newspaper, Hindu newspaper, and it's a cheap one also. Yearly subscription maybe around 1,200 rupees. You can easily manage, and the whole newspaper is with you. And daily morning, why morning? Right from 24 hours, you can read this newspaper. Identify the topics. You please, the syllabus of the civil service exam. Start identifying the topic, start reading, spend 1 hour, download it, underline, and make some points. Try to memorize that point so that every day, if you are collecting even one news or one topic, and if you start developing knowledge about one topic a day, in a year you are collecting 365 topics. That's a good thing. So every day you must read newspaper. Look into the opinion articles and the editorial articles and all. That will give added input. You'll give some more idea about what is happening. Say, for example, the farm bill just been passed by the parliament without any discussion. Now, why opposition parties are crying, or rather why they are complaining? What are the objections to that farm bill? You should know that today, because why, so much of, hue and cry about this particular bill which was passed by the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha without any discussion in both the houses. You should know that. So like this, every day one or other event is happening. You just pick up one story. Try to understand that will develop a good knowledge, good general knowledge, which will be base and foundation for all competitive. Number two thing, other than the general knowledge and newspaper reading, you should think of writing something on a daily basis. Collect a topic, identify a topic, write something about that, maybe in 200 words, 300. So your writing skill development is a very important aspect in this exam. And the third thing could be solving maths, mental ability, reasoning. These are all six standard, 7 standard, 8 standard level, things only. But practice is a must. You go to any competitive exam, whether it's a banking exam, it's a clerical exam, it's an SSC exam, MBA exam, CAT, MAT, anything you say. Ultimately, you'll have to solve maths and mental ability. That's a must. You cannot get through any competitive exam without maths and mental ability. So please start practicing that. So many books and guides are available in the market. Forget about that. If you cannot go to the market and buy a book online, internet, thousands of channels are there where they will talk about SSC preparation, banking preparation, free coaching, this, that, everything. See, these days, then era of free coaching for all these things. You just subscribe to some of these channels. Start solving questions every day. Spend some time. Interesting. And your preparedness for the exam will dramatically improve. So if you can, read and improve some knowledge in general knowledge by reading NCERTs, writing some answers on to improve your writing skill, solving some questions, maths, mental ability, reasoning, etc. on a daily basis, 3-4 hours you can easily spend for all these things. And that is more than sufficient till you complete your graduation. Once you complete, then we can have a full-fledged preparation for civil services also. It may take 1 year for the preparation, but during graduation, if you can do it, that is why we have this Saturday, Sunday, this foundation program in your college also. The idea behind is we want to prepare you for the eventuality. Ultimately, after graduation, what next? After completing your graduation, you should not be suddenly waking up and thinking that what will I do now? If you can do something on a systematic basis right from the beginning, right from the first year, second year onwards, if you are preparing, the greatest advantage will be you are ready for the battle with some knowledge, some information, some writing practice, some ability to solve questions like maths, mental ability, reasoning, etc. It will completely, give a different confidence. And that is what we are looking forward to, this kind of program. And if you are ready for writing and fighting for the civil service exam, we are the best people to guide you. There is no doubt regarding. We have a complete package. We will support you in all aspects. You need not have to prepare anything from outside. Everything will be, we will give all support, but you will have to do. Because I cannot prepare for you. I cannot study for you. I cannot write for you. I cannot solve questions for you. You have to do it by yourself. I can only tell. We will tell you, we will support you, we will provide you material, we will provide you with classes, but you will have to sit and study. Your hard work and your discipline will determine and decide your destiny. Think of it. Great opportunity. Good that colleges like our St. Aloysius and all of us are working hard to tell you this fact. Maybe 5 years before, 10 years before, as Dr. D'Souza was telling, there is nobody to tell us. You go to a college and you just study from the college, get the graduation, come out. Nobody used to tell us what you should do after this. It is up to us to decide. But now things have changed. So much of hard work and focus only to help you in identifying your career and moving forward in the career from the young ages, right from your first year, second year of graduation. So wonderful opportunity. Take advantage of this and try to be successful and do something to the society. You should be, the tool in the hands of the country to serve the society. So do something so that we can all be proud of you. That's all from my side, and I'll be picking up questions. And Ritesh, please.
Sure. Thank you, sir. Thank you for such an inspirational and motivational talk. And I'm sure the students would have taken it very, very seriously. Now we'll get into question and answers, and we'll take all question and answers. And I would encourage students to ask. We still have about 12 minutes, so spend about 10 to 12 minutes on question and answers. So sir has very categorically already mentioned how to start, right? You start with NCERT, you start with newspaper reading, you start with preparing maths and mental ability. So those are the basic steps, right? Some students are saying they can't hear. I'm sure they can hear me, right? Sir and I spoke for about an hour. So first few questions, sir. The first question is from Sharanya. And Sharanya is asking, please, can you tell us the topics for prelims as well as mains? What's the composition of prelims and what's the composition of main examination?
See, the topics are same. The syllabus is same for both prelim and main. Only difference is preliminary is a multiple choice question. Main exam is a long answer descriptive paper. So history, geography, constitution, economy, general science, current affairs, of course, and a bit of basic ethics, attitude, aptitude, and all are there. But by and large, the syllabus is same. The same thing which I said, history and culture, geography and environment, constitution, economics, then current affairs. These are the broader areas. Then general science and technology. These are the broader areas in this. in the syllabus is same.
Okay, Neha and Priyanka are asking, sir, do we actually need coaching for this examination, or this can be done without coaching?
See, coaching is like a maid servant at home. You can do all your work without a maid servant's help also. But only thing is that you have to wake up on time and you have to work. Additional hard work is required. You cannot throw your plate into the the wash basin and come back. You have to clean it. The same way, we coaching institutes will help you in identifying the topic, collecting the material, preparing the material for you, conducting the test for you. Then there is we will put a lot of pressure on you to study on time. So to complete the syllabus on time. So since we are professionals, we will be doing some of your basic disciplinary work from our side rather than you yourself doing it. Okay. So the advantage of coaching is you at least 20% of your work will be taken away by us. We will do it on behalf of you in a very systematic manner. So that is where you can take advantage of the situation, so that you can spend that much time also for memorizing, answer writing, practice, etc., etc. You need not worry about the quality of the material. You need not worry about the completion of the syllabus. Those works are in our hands. That is our duty. You have to just follow what we say. So that is why coaching will help you.
Okay. Next question is from Akhila, and that's a good question. So Akhila is asking, sir, presently I'm doing my first year of BA. Right? What are the habits I need to inculcate from now itself to move towards the exam? What are the kind of books I need to start preparing? As you say, the right efforts need to go from now itself. So please, if you can help me understand what are the habits and efforts I need to do from now.
Yeah, I mean, we all, right from the school days, we had timetable. I hope you remember in the school, 6 o'clock you wake up, 7 o'clock you go to the school, like that. We had a big timetable, 24 hours timetable we used to prepare. 9 o'clock in the night or 10 o'clock in the night, go to bed. Please make a timetable of that nature. Make sure that you have 3-4 hours of time devoted for this kind of activity also. 2 hours for maybe 1 hour for NCERT. That's 6 to 12th NCERT. Around 30-35 books are there. And read, underline, and time for memorizing. 1 hour for reading, underlining, 1 hour for maybe memorizing. 45 minutes for newspaper reading, 15 minutes for memorizing what you read and underlined and collected. Half an hour for writing something on a daily basis. Pick up a topic, write in your own words. 1 hour for solving questions, multiple choice. Okay, maths, mental ability, reasoning. Thousands of questions are there in the market. You can easily keep solving it so that you are good in that. So if you divide time like the 3-4 hours are already taken care. Most important thing, good habit is you make sure that you have a disciplined life. You are following a routine properly. Number 2, what are the good qualities you want to see in a good officer? If a young officer comes to your district as an assistant collector, what do you expect in that? We want to see in him a hardworking person, a honest person. Honesty, practice honesty. Don't tell lies unnecessarily. Okay, don't tell lies unnecessarily. Practice honesty, and then improve your speaking skill. Interpersonal skills. Because if an officer can speak well, do that. And maybe memorize some quotations and all. Start reading some of those things. Read some of the inspirational biographies of the great leaders. Do something of that and think what all you want to see in a good officer. Okay, same thing you should inculcate, so that when you come for the interview, we will be very happy to select you, because you are hardworking, you are disciplined, and you are honest. And you have good articulation skills. You can develop those skills. So think of those things so that you start thinking like an officer. Officer-like qualities. OLQ should be there in you. Officer-like qualities. Think of that. You can develop it. Time is there because you are only in first year.
Okay. Next question is from Anuprabha, and she is asking, sir, any basic books we should start reading?
NCERT. 6th standard to 12th standard. We can also provide you with the St. Aloysius Civil Service Academy will also give you the list of the NCERT books in your library. Those things are already there. You can contact your college team. They will also give you the list of the books.
Yeah, I think the short answer to this is you have to start.
Yeah.
Okay, then next question is from Divya, and she's asking, sir, reading e-newspapers, is it okay reading e-newspapers?
Yeah, e-newspaper, the only thing I want to say is, download it so that, you have some material with you. You identify a topic, say farm bill. Now, what are the content of the farm bill? What are the controversies related to that? What is the opposition point of view? What is the government point of view? And what is the point of view of the experts? You divide it and keep it with you so that you can revise and memorize tomorrow. Maybe after a week's time, suppose somebody asks you, what is the controversy behind that farmer's bill? You should be able to tell one by one. For that, there should be some material with you in your laptop or somewhere, or you download and memorize it so that you can tell it very easily. So e-newspaper, download it and keep it so that you can use it.
Could just imagine, Divya, that tomorrow you go to your college and, or not physically go, but if you're having an e-meeting or a Zoom meeting and you're discussing farm bills with your professor,
Yeah.
I'm sure the professor is in for a very pleasant shock, right? So, so I mean, that's the kind of impact these courses and the programs which we're talking about. Okay, Justin Joy is asking, sir, if I have to become I have to take the foreign services, what should be my rank?
Normally, foreign service IFS, for in foreign service and Indian IAS, the rank required is almost same, because that is the top two choices of most of the candidates. So you have to have it be within the first 100 ranks in a general category situation. First 100 ranks you need to be there to get either IAS or IFS.
Okay, and Neha is asking, does ALS provide test series and mock papers?
Yes. We do provide. We have elaborate programs for that. But before joining all these tests and mocks and all, you should have that basic knowledge and understanding. The basic content is equally important. Okay, they don't discount that particular aspect. Tests will come. Tests will help only if you have the basic knowledge. If your base is good, if your foundation is good, and if you have enough information, then tests will help. But right from the beginning, if you are only looking for tests, it may not be that useful. Towards the end, definitely it is useful, and we have everything.
Yeah. So at this point, I'm going to share, while other questions are still coming, I'm going to share the details of the scholarship exam, which is going to happen this Sunday. Right. I hope you can see my screen. Right. So this scholarship exam is specifically for the students of St. Aloysius College, or the students of St. Aloysius Institute of Civil Services. Right. It's called ASAT. ASAT is nothing but ALS Scholarship Aptitude Test for students who want to prepare for civil services or any competitive examination, whether it is NDA, CDS, State PCS, SSC, CAPF, banking, like sir was mentioning earlier. Right. The exam date is September 27th and it's at 11 a.m. You don't have to go anywhere. This is an online exam, which you can take from your phone or from your laptop. Right. The mode of exam is online. It is a MCQ based question answer paper, which is multiple choice question. The bad news is we'll have negative marking, right? Because we want you to practice from now onwards, because in the main preliminary examination also you'll have negative marking. The syllabus is very simple. It's whatever you've studied from class 6 to 10th, 11th, 12th. And I'm sure all of us have cleared class 6, 7, 8, 9, 10th, 11th, 12th. A little bit of current affairs, 50 questions, right? Duration will be 1 hour, but I'm very confident and sure all of us are going to finish this exam in 40 to 45 minutes, right? We are giving 100 scholarships for the 2-year program and 100 scholarships for the 3-year program. So the 2-year program is the foundation and the advanced foundation program. And the 3-year program is the foundation program, the advanced foundation program, and the mains cum prelim exam preparatory program, which of course includes all the test series and interview program, which sir was talking about. So we look forward to hold this examination on Sunday, coming Sunday, 27th, right? Our classes start on October 3rd, right? And the classes will be from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m., right? Online, because everything is online. And the reason why it's on Saturday, Sunday, is so that you can focus on your graduation Monday to Friday, right? And Saturday, Sunday, please give these 3-4 hours to us and we will take care of you. So I hope you've seen this link. You have to register. The registration is absolutely free, right? If you do not have the link, I'm going to send this link on the chat box right away. Okay. So one student is asking, sir, what are the after impacts of UPSC exam? So
after impact is you will become a new person altogether. If you are preparing for the exam properly, we will see a new person coming out of you because of your knowledge, your outlook, your approach towards the society. Everything will change. You'll be a completely changed personality. That is the promise I can give you, and nothing else.
Okay, so I've just shared the link right? You can just click on this link. You just have to put your name and telephone number, and we will send you the question paper, right? And see how technology is moving, right? And sir was talking about everything has to move fast, and we have no patience. Just look what I did. I just sent you the link in 10 seconds. You can just click on this, and the good news or the bad news is the examination will only open at 11 a.m. on Sunday, right? So please circulate this link with your other friends also who have not come today, and they can circulate in the various WhatsApp groups, right? So any further questions before we end? Anybody wants to ask anything else? I think Dr. D'Souza has just got signed off. Maybe some poor link. I think the electricity went out there. I could see his room darkening. Anybody has any other questions? Okay. So can I come to you for your closing remarks, and then we can end this session?
Yeah.
So if you can give your closing remarks, and then
Is Dr. D'Souza there?
oh yeah. I think he's just joined it.
Ask him to give the.
Yeah, I just lost the line. I'm back again.
So I was requesting sir to give closing remarks, but you came in time. I think there is still some issue.
Yes. This is the last minute, as you were just talking about, what is the other side of probably trying this entire piece, and then you were interestingly saying that there's going to be much more positive things. I was just probably there on that line and my internet side. But I think, sir, I have one question for you, and maybe this is for more people who probably want to ask me this question very personally. What about students who want to start preparing a little earlier than the ones that you are actually addressing at this point of time? That is, if students in the class 8th, 9th, and 10th want to be thinking of probably working towards it, do you have any program for them? Just as a question.
Yeah, I mean, right now we have not launched it, but we are shortly launching a program for them also. But there, the focus should be on newspaper reading and, writing ability. Because if they can express well, everything depends upon how well you are expressing in the answer sheet. Whatever little knowledge you have, whether you are able to present it well. The presentation is the key, and newspaper reading, so that they are aware of what is happening around us. They should be coming out of this PUBG thing, because 8th standard, 9th standard level, they are more focusing only on video games. So if you are able to read and understand and know something what is happening around us, that is the greatest contribution. At least 1 hour newspaper reading, make some notes in their own, the way they want to make notes, it's okay. But what is more important is getting that clear awareness of what is happening around us. So that can be a good start for a student in 6th standard or 7th standard onwards.
And Dr. D'Souza, if I may add, I remember the principal father there also had called me of the neighboring school, the Aloysius school, and the other junior section which you have, right? If you want, we can hold a similar program for students there as well, right? Where sir can talk, and a similar online program, right? Where he can talk and motivate the students of class 8, 9, 10, because 8, 9 is that very sensitive age of life, right? Where there are 2 doors in front of you. Right, one is the social life and one is the hard work and the academic life. So I'm sure he and all of us will encourage him, along with you and the various mentors, to open the right door.
And this exam is open for all. Okay, I mean, somebody is asking this.
Yeah.
Not only but students of St. Aloysius, even the students from outside also are permitted for this exam. Yeah.
Yes. So so this is for undergraduate students. Some students are asking. Janita is asking, is it for undergraduate? So this entire program, Janita, whatever we spoke about in Janita and all of the students, this is for undergraduates only. We have a separate program for graduates, and we are not even talking about it out here, right? So do not worry. This is the program which we spoke about. So Neha has already shared the link. Thank you, Neha. Right, and I request Dr. Senek for his closing remarks, and also if you can share this link in various groups so that most of the students, maximum students, can avail scholarship. And of course, at the same token, get a reduction in the fees. And we're looking forward for maximum participation so that you can avail the scholarship, get quality education, get ready early, and for all the nice things which sir spoke about. So Dr. Senek, over to you.
Yes, thank you so much, Ritesh, and Mr. Jojo Matthew also. Very, very honestly, I am not sure what the rest of the participants probably would like to rate this. I would like to give it a 10 out of 10 in case I was to hear this when I was a young kid. But then even standing today at where I am today, I still give it a 10 out of 10 to say, this is a new perspective that probably everybody needs to start very early, and you are offering a hope to say that you have one of your students who has excelled and probably been there to talk about it today also on a testimony video that you actually put up. A big thank you from St. Louis institutions. As Ritesh rightly said, maybe more programs to groom our younger folks will probably be our priority, but I would recommend all participants who are listening to me now to also forward this link and information to more of your friends, because I think sharing is nothing but more love to each other, and we just need to do that so that everybody gets benefited out of this. We have this test coming up on Sunday, and tomorrow, if I'm not wrong, 25th is the registration for that. The time to close the registration is going to be somewhere on the 20th, is what I've was reading up. So, but if you can probably share this link to more people and sign up for the examinations. Mainly, I see probably in a couple of years or probably in a few sessions from now, you will be one of those videos that we're talking about, and ALS will be proud to air you there and in saying, we have another youngest participant who has actually made it to the top. Thank you so much, Ritesh, Jojo, on behalf of the management, on behalf of Dr. Ronald, Dr. Disil, every participant here. It was a pleasure having with you together, and both of you have done a great job. Thank you so much for inspiring all of us. Have a great day.
Thank you
Dr. D'Souza.
so much.
And thank you for one and all. Thank you very much. Bye-bye, and see you on Sunday. Not see you, but see you on the test.
Bye-bye. Okay, bye-bye.
Absolutely. Yes, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.